Are you or a loved one considering weight loss surgery? Or have you already had the surgery and you want to make it a little bit more effective for you? I'm here to take you through my journey with weight loss surgery and answer some common questions that I've been asked. So let's get started right now. Hi, I'm Joann Loy, and I want to take you on my bariatric journey. I've had a weight problem for as long as I can remember. I've always been on the heavy side, and as I got older, it became harder and harder and harder for me to maintain a healthy weight. I tried various diets. I'd lose some weight, I'd gain it back. I never could really lose weight. So I went to the doctor, and it turns out that I was nearly 300 pounds and my BMI was over 40, so that qualified me for the bariatric surgery. But we tried all different angles first. The bariatric surgery should be your very last resort. It is a very invasive surgery. It is a life-changing surgery. It's not something to take lightly, but at the same time, it is something I have never, ever regretted. It will be 14 years since I've had my surgery this coming August, and I have had ups and downs with it, but and if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And so this is what you can kind of expect. What I had to do was I had to have all my levels checked, my blood levels, my thyroid, all of that checked, and it did turn out that my thyroid was very low. And so they gave me some medication hoping that that would fix it, and it did it somewhat, but not too much, not too good. I didn't lose weight like I should have, and it turns out that my metabolism is just extremely slow. So the next step was to get me approved for the bariatric surgery. There are different types of bariatric surgery. The most common one these days is the sleeve surgery, what they commonly call the gastric sleeve, which is very beneficial to a lot of people. The downside of that is it's much easier to stretch out the sleeve and gain your weight back unless you're very strict with your diet. But there are a lot of people who have had very good results, so I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing at all. That is something you and your doctor would have to just discuss, the pros and cons of all the different surgeries. The one I had was the full gastric bypass, where they actually separate the stomach and leave you with just a small little pouch and reconnect the intestines, and they're bypassing the main part of your stomach. The big part of your stomach is left over to the side, and it's reconnected down below into your intestines to let you still have gastric juices that it still produces to help in digestion. But you are still left with a very small pouch where you can't you can't hold as much food. So because my metabolism was so slow, they opted for that method over the gastric sleeve. In order to finally do that, I had to go through 6 months of physician-monitored diet, a diet diary. I had to write down every single thing I put in my mouth. I had to keep with a plan to show that I am willing to make these changes. It's not a quick fix. It's not a magic bullet. It is a tool to help you lose your weight. And that's what you have to keep in your mind, is it is not a magic bullet. It is only a tool. And it's a fantastic tool. I was told at the beginning, from the very beginning, that I will lose weight, I will get to a healthier weight, but I will never lose as low as the normal person would using the surgery, simply because of my body metabolism and makeup. It wasn't going to go, I wasn't ever going to get down really low, but I'd still be within a healthy range. And that has proven to be true. All my vitamin levels, my hormone levels, everything is just spot on and perfect every time I go for my blood work that I go through every year. If you're getting value from this video, please hit the like button. It'll sure help us. Thank you. So I went through the 6-month diet, keeping a diary of everything I ate. I'd go back every month. The doctor would look at it. I'd lose maybe a half a pound, maybe a pound over a month's time, sometimes 2 if I was really good. And he'd say, "Are you sure you're writing down what you are eating? Because you are eating a Weight Watchers diet." And I said, "Yes, I am writing down everything. Read what I've written down. I splurged and I had a piece of chocolate cake and I did not try to hide that from you. So I did write down." He said, "Well, you should be losing weight. So you are definitely a candidate for this surgery." So I fast forward 6 months, everything gets approved. I go in, they take me back, they do my surgery. At that point, you can only have liquids for like 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what the doctor says. I think in my case, it's been a while, but I think it was about 2 weeks I was on just clear liquids. And they always tell me to drink, keep my fluids up. Well, that's really hard when you come out of surgery and your stomach pouch is literally the size of your thumb. And that's all I could hold, so I had to continually sip water to keep my fluids in. And I had to stay in the hospital they get you out a little quicker now than they did back then. I was in for like 4 days, but now it's a little bit quicker. And the gastric sleeve, it goes a little bit quicker too. Your body is adjusting to all this, the new way of digesting food, and it can be embarrassing at times, and I've had my moments, but overall your body adjusts to it. Now you have to walk and you're hurting and you're sore and you think, what have I done? When I got out of the hospital, I was cleared to go home, went home and drinking these clear liquids, and I thought, oh, I just can't take anymore. I've got to have food. I was so excited. The next 2 weeks I could have pureed. That felt like I was eating a steak. It was just great. So I had the pureed. Then you go to chopped food, and then you can finally go into real food. But the whole thing about this thing is foods that you had and you enjoyed before, you loved before, really won't appeal to you anymore. You will think you'll like it, but when you realize that certain foods such as steak, chicken, unless it's very tender, anything rubbery like shrimp, unless it's very, very tender, but most of the time shrimp is more of a rubbery consistency. Even to this day, I cannot eat that because it will literally sit in my pouch and it won't go anywhere. There's not enough there to break it all down. So it gets to the point where those foods are not even appealing to you anymore. And also, you're also a very cheap date. That's kind of fun. If you go out to eat, you literally can only eat a few bites. So what I would end up doing is just the people I'm out to eat with would just give me a few bites of theirs, and I'd have a whole variety of food there. So that was kind of nice. But to this day, in this day and time, I can literally go out to eat and I get a plate of food, and I can have anywhere from 2 to 3 meals out of that one plate. And I usually get the smaller plate too. I don't get the big plate. You still feel hungry. You feel like you could eat a regular sized meal, but you realize you can't, because once you start eating, after maybe 4 or 5, 6 bites, depending on what it is, you think, oh my goodness, I can't eat anymore. I'm full. And you are just as full and just as satisfied as if you ate the whole thing. So you actually can eat cheaper actually going out, because you do get more meals. Let us know in the comments below of any comfort foods that you might think you'd be craving, that you want to know how to make in a more healthy way, and we'll try to get those recipes up for you. Think of it as you're putting food in your body for nutrition to sustain your life. That is what it's all about. Not to say you can't have some splurges here and there, but limit those and understand you are not going to be able to do like you have been doing and eating the things you have been eating. Go ahead and get that in your mind now before you even go in there, and be prepared for it, and it'll be much easier. And that's what we're here for, to help you in that journey and to remake your comfort foods in a healthy way. Whether or not you had the surgery, it doesn't matter. Either way, you want your comfort foods, that's great, but let's make them in a healthier way, and we're here to help you do that. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like this video, ring the bell, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and see you later. Bye-bye. Just forgot what I was going to say.